Hey guys, what's up? Emo Cat Dad here, bringing you another Emo Cat Dad Listens. It's Sunday, so it's ladies' night. If you're new here, what I do on every edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens is I listen to a new band or artist every day of 2024, and because this emo genre is so male-dominated, every Sunday I vowed to listen to a band or artist that has a lady in it. So today's artist, as you can see up there, is 100 Gecs. Have I listened to 100 Gecs before? No, not really. My experience with 100 Gecs thus far, they featured on a 303 song that I really didn't like. Nothing against 303. I do enjoy some of their music. I was obsessed with Don't Trust Me like everyone else was in 2009 or 8, whatever year that was. God, I'm old. But yeah, other than that, I've heard like snippets of songs played on music podcasts. I know they're a hyper pop band that seems to be mixing in some rock elements because they also grew up in the scene. I haven't really listened to any hyper pop, so I guess this will be new for me. But without any further ado, let's get into 100 Gecs. So from what I can see, 100 Gecs really only has 2 albums, one of which is their debut called 1000 Gecs. They later on released a deluxe version with some new songs, but it seems like none of the deluxe version songs got super popular. So I'm going to listen to 2 songs from that debut album and 2 songs from the most recent album, 10,000 Gecs, which released last year. So I guess we might as well start off with 1000 Gecs. And the first song I checked out was Money Machine.
They look like little cigarettes. I bet I could smoke you, I could roast you, and then you'd love it and you'd text me.
So from what I heard of this band, especially in that 303 song, was that the vocals annoyed me. So I honestly expected to be annoyed through these 4 songs and thought to myself, why am I even doing this? No one even suggested this to me. I just chose to. But I can honestly say the vocals did not bother me at all on this song. The lyrics, on the other hand, did. It was pretty repetitive. But overall, the music was fun. The vocals, again, really quite enjoyed the different styles. I didn't bump into the auto-tune, which obviously it's a hyper-pop band, so it's going to be used. And one of the first lines of the song is Little Piss Baby, so I just LOL'd at that. Alright, the next song I checked out from 1000 Gecs, the album, by 100 Gecs, is A Hand Smashed by a Mallet. So this is kind of the opposite of my feelings towards Money Machine, where the lyrics didn't bother me at all, but the vocals kind of did. I'm not sure what it was with the auto-tune on this that irked me so much, because I didn't feel like it was terribly different. It just, maybe because it was 2 songs in a row, it just got annoying to me. I don't know. You guys let me know if you sensed a difference in the vocals between these 2 songs, if you're a 100 Gecs fan. Because, yeah, it just wasn't doing anything for me. On top of that, I also thought the music was too high in the mix. So even though the auto-tuned part of the vocals that annoyed me got buried a little bit, so did the better sounding vocals. So it was not a win-win. It was kind of a lose-lose. Alright, now let's go to their next album, 10,000 Gecs. And the first song I checked out was Hollywood Baby.
But it rains all the late fees. Did you get the payment? We had an arrangement.
So I thought the song would be about nepotism, and maybe it is. But it certainly just sounds like they're talking about Hollywood and then saying baby like a person you would call. But I will say, this is way more my style. The music, the hyperpop music, was still there, but it was slightly more muted, especially compared to the last track. And they had some guitars in there. And as much as I say I'm a pop guy, I love pop music, I still like to hear guitars. But can we talk about the "You'll never make it in Hollywood, baby" line? They literally repeat it 8 times towards the end of the song. I counted 8 times. That's like 6 times too many. Alright, and finally, from the album 10,000 Gecs, I checked out Dumbest Girl Alive.
And I'm smarter than I look. I'm the dumbest girl alive. I took 10 pills today.
Now, this was one of the more popular songs on Spotify, but mostly I wanted to check it out because This was State of the Scene podcast. Shouts out. Favorite song from the album, and it made it on their top songs of 2023 list. And I could see why. The opening cinematic music part, I love so much. I was like, okay, this is going to be good. After that, we get a woo, and then it takes 45 seconds into the song before we get a second word. That's too long. There was a good hook throughout the song, though I do need it earlier, and it's nothing super special. Like, I've heard that hook before in other songs. And then we get a 25-second outro. I'm not annoyed at all. It's a 2-minute, 20-second song with a 25-second outro and a 45-second intro with one word in it. Not one word being repeated, just one word total. So that's basically a minute 20 of this 2:20 song. So there's a minute of actual lyrics. Overall, my thoughts on 100 Gecs are that the newer stuff with the guitars, much better than the stuff I heard off their earlier album. I'm not sure if that was a choice that they had made, that to keep the guitars out of it, to do something completely fresh. Fresh to me anyways. Maybe other people were doing it. I don't know. I'm not into hyperpop. But I definitely dig the newer stuff, and I'm willing to give them a listen when they release something new. But I'm probably not going to go back to those 1000 Gecs tracks. So, my ranking of these songs should be no surprise. At number 1, Hollywood Baby. The repetitiveness of the lyrics is about the only downside here. Everything else is solid or better. Number 2, we're doing Dumbest Girl Alive. Again, no complaints overall about that 1 minute of music that we get in the middle of the song. But enough with the long intros and long outros, even though I did really like the first 10 to 15 seconds of the intro. At 3, we'll do Money Machine. The lyrics were too repetitive, but everything else I enjoyed, to an extent anyways. And finally, at number 4, Hand Crushed by a Mallet. Pretty self-explanatory. The lyrics were about the only thing that I would consider solid. The music wasn't there for me. The vocals weren't there for me. Just my personal taste. I'd much rather have that guitar from 10,000 Gecs. Alright guys, that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and checking out an Emo Cat Dad Listens on 100 Gecs. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the band. Do you love hyperpop? Give me some suggestions of bands that you think I will dig based on what I just told you. If I'm wrong about 100 Gecs and that 1000 Gecs is their best stuff and they sold out on 10,000 Gecs, you're more than welcome to do that as well. After all, I basically want everyone to sell out. But last thing, guys, I need you to do is cut my wrists and hit subscribe. Until next time, Emo Cat Dad, I want to hear you sad.